Hi everyone, I'm Vone Kevitz, knit and crochet designer for one-of-a-kind makers who dare to be original. So today I have an awesome guest for you. So I'm talented, and I do a lot of crafts, and I'm not shy about me knowing crafts, but this lady's craft blows my mind. Blows my mind. I've been a fan of hers for years, and I can't believe she said yes. Lay Lewis, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Lay, tell everybody who you are.
My name is Leigh Lewis, and I am the creator of Fuzzyfelties. And they're little needle felted animals of your pets.
I mean, you guys, do you see this? If you do not know who she is, you need to get on Instagram and look up Fuzzyfelties and find her page because you will die at her feeds. How many animals have you made?
I've made over 900 so far.
Yeah. Woo. All right. Let's just get this going because that is what you will see on Instagram. Her links will be at the bottom at the show description. So definitely go check it out after this interview. So how did you get started on your creative journey?
So I was actually looking for a new hobby. I recently got married and all the crafts were gone. And I was looking for something to do, and I saw this needle felted animal coming across on my web browser. I was like, what is that? And then so I checked it up on YouTube. I'm like, I'm going to try that. And then I fell in love.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. How long ago?
That was in 2015, so about 4 years now.
Wow. Isn't that funny? I picked up, I dabble with knit and crochet like when I was a little girl and everything, but I picked up knit and crochet when I got married too, because I wanted a hobby.
Right.
Because I feel like that is that must be a marriage formula. You know what I mean? You need a hobby before you enter in there. Oh, I think our internet is stalling a bit, so I'm just gonna wait till Lay comes back.
Okay.
There we go.
Yep.
That's all right. And then so I think when we get married, we just have to pick up a hobby to keep us entertained, or because I think that's the secret. That's the secret. All right. So what is your big why for pursuing a solopreneur lifestyle?
Actually, it's to help animals. So I donate most of my profits to animal shelters.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Do you advertise that at all? Is that
a lot of my customers, they said you really need to start putting that out there because a lot of people don't know that. So I'm creating an ad. Yeah.
That needs to be on your Instagram bio. Profits help, you know what I mean? That's awesome. How do you do that? How do you go about that? Because there's another maker that I interview that she donates 10% of her proceeds to a charity for the month. So she picks a charity for the month, and then she uses her profits to donate 10% to, and that's her big cause, And I've been wanting to really get into something like that. But how do you approach charities
Oh, so I actually look at different rescues and I ask them what they need. So I choose a different rescue every quarter, so every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And like this quarter, I'm doing Old Dog Haven, and it's to sponsor senior dogs. So my profits was able to sponsor 3 senior dogs for a whole year. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. Lay, you just touched on a whole thing. I've already adored you and admired you. Honestly, I'm so giddy to have you on here with me because I just feel like I'm talking to magic right now because I just your craft and your talent is mind blowing. And I look at a lot of things and I'm always like, I can do that. Whether I do it or not do it, you know what I mean? But when I look at your stuff and I was like, how does she do that? I can't believe I can't believe that. So what is your making process?
making process. So like how I start each order.
Mm-hmm.
So like I get the pictures, look at them, and then I also start to look at pictures of similar dogs like them, so I can see back and front. Because sometimes I get a little picture of just their head, and I have to be creative.
Yes, I noticed that. I'm like, you get one picture. I was like, do they take? I was like, you share one picture, you get one picture, and then you have this like amazing creation of like just from one flat picture. I was like, how is she doing that? So you do heavy researching, right?
Yes, I do a lot of research. I stress out a lot. I walk away, and I come back. But then, and it helps me realize dogs' anatomies or cats, because those are the only two, and it makes it easier. So I'm a lot faster than I was 4 years ago, for sure.
Right, because you have like the basics of the body part, and then the details are just. That's awesome. So what do you do? Like, do you work with yarn? Is that?
Oh no! So I actually work with wool, like wool roving, and I got some. So
Oh,
it's just this stuff,
so you
and then
just start with that.
yep, and then I poke it with the needle, and then until it shapes.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So you just start with a cotton ball, and then
Basically.
you just magically whip up that little fuzzy furry dog.
Right.
How long does it take?
Depending on the dog. If it's a dog that I've done millions of times, it can take me maybe an hour. But if it's a dog that I haven't done, it can take anywhere between 6 hours to 2 days. Sometimes I have to come
Wow.
back. Yeah.
You can whip one out in an hour from
Depending on
like
what kind of
just
dog.
a regular ball
Yeah.
of wool to that.
Yes.
So do you have a lot of colors or
I
do you
have
just
to
have a lot
blend
of
it.
hmm?
So I have basic colors, and that's what takes so long. So if it's a dog and it's like a white dog, that's easy. But
Yeah.
if it's like a cream color dog, I have to blend the white and the yellow together to make a cream color. So
So
that's
how
why
are
no
you
dog.
sourcing your wools? Do you have a local or do you order?
So I used to have a local source, and they closed down this year. That's why I had to raise my prices. And so
That's
now I have to
heartbreaking.
go online.
That is heartbreaking.
Yeah, it broke my heart. I
Oh,
went there, and it was no longer there.
it breaks my heart just because it's a local small business that couldn't
Exactly.
continue and you were supporting, but you weren't enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, why couldn't I do more?
Exactly.
You know, why didn't I buy you in a bundle if I knew you were in trouble? I could have really stocked up here, people.
That's exactly what was going through my head. I actually cried in front of the store. I was
Because
like,
you're like, yeah,
oh,
that's just a life lesson in general because we just have this tendency to take so much for granted, you know,
right.
until it's too late, and then we're like, why, why didn't we appreciate it more? I mean, I'm sure you did, you know, because now you got to go online and really search and compare, and then
Yes.
shipping costs is a whole other beast, you know.
Yep.
That,
It's horrible. It's
mhm.
gone up so much compared to
Yeah.
being locally sourced, for sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But your creations are worth every penny. So definitely props that you continue it. That you don't hit a road hurdle and then stop. You know what I mean?
I
No,
did for a little bit, and
yeah.
then it was hard. I got really sick, and so I stopped for almost like 9 months, and then I didn't think I was going to pick it back up. But I was like, I love it so much, so I came back.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. You know, I kind of feel like you got quiet on Instagram for a little bit.
Yeah.
Was that during it? I was like, but you know
Yes.
what? At the same time, I too was getting sick, so I kind of dropped off too. So we were probably just
At
like,
the same time.
yeah, so we were just at the same time going, I think I need a little break. But like all of our passions, you know, because it's in our blood, it's in our systems. You never stop. You just kind of take a break. You know
Break.
what I mean?
Yes.
Like I
Absolutely.
would never like shut everything down and ship all this off and go donate all my yarn. Goes, I'm never gonna knit and crochet again. Like that. That's silly. You know what I
That's
mean? Same with you. All you could do is just leave it in a corner somewhere and be like, one of these days,
I'm gonna
I'll
go
get the
back.
energy again.
Exactly.
Yeah, the spark will come back. The spark will come back. So what do you have any tips for newbie makers?
Absolutely. When that self-doubt comes in, block it out. Self-doubt is the hardest. And then it makes you overwhelmed. Like, can I do this? Can I not do this? It's just one of those things that I struggled with when I first started. I was like, I don't know if I'm good enough for this. It's just like, are people going to like it? You always worry about other people's opinions.
That Yeah, that is a huge one. That is a huge one. Honestly, Lay, that is the reason why I created a YouTube channel. This Dare to Be Original YouTube channel. It
Yeah.
is solely for that reason because I had a Facebook group called Dare to Be Original, which is
Mhm.
still up and running, and it's full of amazing makers. But I was seeing a lot of newbie doubters and self-doubts, and you know what I mean, and people wanting to open their Etsy shops and sell their creations, but they were so scared, and they're like, is it worth it? And then they were underpricing because they were questioning their talents. Will people even pay for what this is, and there was a lot of that going on, and so that's when I like really was like, I need to create a platform where I shake these people out and share with them like that they matter. They can do anything that they want. And I was like, the only difference between a person that makes it and a person that doesn't is one of them keeps going and the other one stops.
Exactly.
That's the only difference. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're right. So if you're going to be right one way or the other, why not be right in your ability to do something, you know?
Absolutely.
And it's so true because look at what you're doing. Like you have a ball of yarn and you get to create this masterpiece. And even then you, in your head, you're like, will people like this? Crazy?
Every
Isn't it
single
crazy?
time.
Isn't that crazy, the power of self-doubt? Like, I can spend hours on this gorgeous yarn and create this beautiful scarf, add pockets, do all these things, and it feels so soft and luxurious. And then I pack it up and I ship it out to the buyer, and my heart stops. And
Yes.
they, until the moment I realize they've received the package, opened it, and liked it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like my heart like just doesn't, like my world like stops until that moment happens. And because my
Every
doubt, and
time.
I'm like, will they like it? Will they, you know what I mean? Isn't that crazy, that power?
Yeah.
But definitely the more you quickly squash it or do everything you can, spend your energy on protecting yourself from that and defending yourself from that, like the better off you are. Because
Yes, absolutely. I do it every day. I struggle with it every day.
every day, yep, every day. And yet every day you keep showing up and you keep creating.
Yes.
Have you ever thought to branch out of, have you any other animal customers approach you and said,
Oh,
can you do this? Or
yes. Absolutely. I originally started, I wanted to make little different characters, like little cartoon characters.
Mhm.
And then someone saw my Instagram and asked if I could make a dog. And then it completely changed to what I was envisioning at first. So
Because there are just more cat and dog lovers in the world.
yes.
That they want to immortalize their creatures.
And I
But
love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I have two German short hairs that are
Oh,
that are that I'm dying to get. So as soon as my funds open up, you get ready for my order because I'm getting these two immortalized by your creations. Because have you ever done German short hair pointers?
I have not.
So
I don't think I have.
that will be a
Mm-mm.
challenge. Just all the black and white speckles. One of them has so many speckles, and he's got like a big liver, brown head, and then the other one has a brown head, but he's more white with tiny. So one's, you know what I mean, more spotty.
Yeah.
So they are different. So you won't be able to quickly knock out.
No,
They're
those
gonna
will
be,
be ones that I will have for 4 weeks trying
yes.
to figure it
Like,
out.
where is this dot? I can't fix this dot. And awesome.
Exactly.
So do you get other orders, or you don't get, or do you turn down orders? How's that work?
I don't turn down orders, but I do have people decline because my orders go out until July right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the only one I've actually had to turn down was they wanted me to use their own wool, their own fur, and I had to turn that down.
Wow.
Yeah. But I will try. Anything.
Right. That is crazy. Your orders go all the way out to July. Wow,
Yeah.
we just started March, guys, if you're wondering when this is filming. So I'm not sure when it's going to get aired, but that's amazing. That is amazing. I'm not shocked because, I'm sure your waiting list is ridiculous. Wow. What is your turnaround rate? So when they order, like,
I had my turnaround used to be about a week, but now it takes a very, very long time once I get to their name. I had a very big influx of orders in November, and I had over 1,000 inquiries in 2 days. And so, yeah, I'm still trying to get to those names just to see where I can find them in the list. So I have a big booklet.
Yeah. How did that happen? Is it just Christmas, or did you get advertised somewhere? Or
I actually one of my followers loved what I did, and she followed this big social influencer and wanted to buy a couple of her pets. So when I sent it out, that influencer actually posted it in her storyline, and yeah, it changed.
It changed everything, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're like, Lay needs an assistant.
I did. I actually had to ask my best friend and my spouse to do all the inquiries.
Yeah, to go through. Yeah, because as your craft gets bigger and your profession, like, you have to realize there are certain things that you do that only you can do,
right,
and there are things that other people can do for you. You know what I mean? And you have to quickly figure out what those are and outsource them fast. You know what I mean? Outsource them fast, And so, like, I'm in the same boat with my Instagram, or with my Facebook group, that the community there grew. Like, I feel like it blew up to 1,000 overnight, but it didn't. It just did grow so fast, and I quickly realized, I'm like, I can't be in this Facebook group and run it, you know what I mean, the way I want to run it, or oversee it the way I want it overseen. So that I quickly found an amazing community manager, and that's Sabrina, who was very engaged with the group, and like, and then so I sought her out and I said, listen, I'm going to pay you pennies. Can you please, you know what I mean? Like, and she just does it out of favor. I basically buy her coffee, for a month, but that was a quick way of me learning how to outsource fast, because I needed something, it was something that needed to be done, but I couldn't do everything, but it was important to me to not let that part slip. And now the same thing with the Instagram feature page that I have for the Facebook group. But I realized, I was like, I couldn't manage it all. So I was like, there are things that I can show up for that are, you know what I mean, that are only me. And then there are things that other people can help me with. And then I quickly realized I have to, get it out no matter what. So yes. And as solopreneurs, like, you have to be ready for that, and I'm not saying like you have to go out and spend all your money. Like, I don't have money. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I just do what I can, and basically they don't even want money, but at the same time I'm like, no, let me just, buy you some coffee, and this is the minimum of what I can do. This is the maximum of what I can do. It's the minimum of what you can take, but it's definitely something, and it's good practice in general, because eventually, as success happens like that, that's so great. Wow, what influencer. They always say influence marketing, you know what I mean? If you can get influencer marketing,
It's crazy. I never even heard of it, and it happened, and I was like, oh.
Oh, you've never heard of it? Well, that's awesome, and I'm really really happy for you about that. That's amazing. So, do you have habits and rituals that you do daily?
I do. Coffee first. And lately it's just a pep talk to myself, like, okay, you can do this. It gets overwhelming when you see a list of people that you have to do and you're the only one doing it. And then I'm just like, can I keep doing this? So it's pep talks. I do a lot of pep talks to myself. Yeah.
Yes. Before you start a project, you basically are
Yes.
like, okay, cooperate with me. Okay, Wolf, it's you and me today. Let's see what you. That is so awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and I look at different rescues every day to see which ones I haven't done to donate to. So I
Yeah,
keep
that's
that going.
amazing. See, that goes back to
Yeah.
your big why, doesn't
Mm-hmm.
it? It, I mean, like that is what like fuels us. Like why, you know? Because I have the same thing. Like the reason why I'm like I think I'm put on this earth to honestly motivate and 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 help inspire people,
Yes.
not by my actions, but by reminding them of their capabilities. You know what I mean? Like because I have I think I'm honestly God put on this earth to help like paralyzed makers like that are afraid and get them to create again and get them to share their voice. And I'm passionate about it because I suffer from it. I'm passionate about it because I give myself the same pep talks. I teach myself the same developmental. I'm constantly reading developmental and listening to podcasts to inspire and motivate me to get
Yeah.
me to move and push through and fight the fears and the doubts, right? So as I'm doing that, I realize I'm like, there are others, and I have to help them, you know?
Right.
So the times that I shut down, like earlier last year, and that I stepped away while I was getting better, at the same time, I'm always like, should I just shut it all down and just forget? But then I'm like, no, you can quiet yourself, but there are all those others that need you to move, like that need you to help them move, you know? And so that is my big why. Honestly, that is my big why. And that's why I create these channels, and that's why I do these interviews with makers, just to show, like that is the point of these interviews, is to show ordinary women, like everyday ordinary women doing extraordinary things. You know what I mean? And if we can, if you can, anybody can, you know what I mean? They can.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like that is the point of these creative interviews. I want to get as many on so that everybody can see the various ordinary women doing extraordinary things, you know, when they put their mind to it. And it's not easy. It's not handed to us. It's not, you know what I mean?
No.
It's a fight and a struggle every single day. And the biggest fights are within ourselves to get up and
Absolutely.
create and to move. You know what I mean? So if we push past through that, like that's one hurdle. It's the biggest hurdle. You know, I used to think that we used to like to blame other people for keeping us back. You know what I mean? Like, and to think that other people's opinions are what harms us. And yeah, they stunt us, but our opinions of ourselves is what cripples us. That is what
I
renders
agree.
us catatonic. You know,
Yes.
that is what, if we don't motivate ourselves, we're done.
Absolutely agree
Right?
to that.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's essentially like right from the first thing in the morning. You either choose to get up or you don't. You know what I mean? You either
Right.
choose to live passively or to live offensively. You know what I mean? You either let life happen to you or you live life the way you want it to. You know, and that's why I like your ritual. So you know, you wake up and you're like, I'm coming in hot and strong. Give me that coffee. Let's do this.
Yes. Have to, or
Have
I'll be
to,
in
right?
bed.
And that's why habits and rituals like really, you know, they're the corner stepping stones of what makes it easier for us to continue to move, you know. I think that's why I put it in my like 6 questions of pillars. Like, you know, I know people are looking at it like, go, this list of questions like habits and rituals, what are you talking about? Because as solopreneurs, we need that. It's like a jigsaw. It's like a jig, you know, when carpenters, like just imagine a carpenter like having to build pieces. If you're building if you're measuring out each piece by piece, to build the same foundation, you're going to make mistakes. It's exhausting, right? But if you have a jig, if you have a pattern that you've already set yourself on, you use that pattern over and over again, you streamline your process, and it's so much easier, less errors, quicker timing, and you're motivated, right? That's what these habits
Exactly.
and rituals do, and the more good habits you create, the easier your days run. The more bad habits you have,
Don't want to talk about those days.
yeah, you can spiral real fast on those bad habit days. And believe me, I have a lot of them that I fight through on an ongoing basis. So last question, how do you invest in yourself?
Oh, I don't know. Investing in myself, that's a tough question, Vaughn, because I don't feel like I do invest in myself enough.
And
I
yeah,
think probably I take breaks. I'm one of those people that keep going, going, going. If I'm not doing something, I feel like I'm failing. But I'm learning to okay, step back, take a day off. It's going to be okay. So time,
yes,
I invest in time.
that is the most valuable thing in the world.
Yeah.
Honestly, time is, you know what I mean? You can make money, you can make anything else, you can produce anything else, but what we cannot do in this world is produce time.
Yes.
Once it goes, it's gone, and that's it,
Yeah.
So if we don't relish in it, cherish it, use it productively,
Exactly.
and productively meaning self-care, if that's what we need to continue to produce. Like, yeah, I struggled, honestly, I struggled with the same way, and in me thinking that I need to continue, because I feel like I always need to do something. And if I'm not doing
Right.
something, then I'm being lazy and non-productive.
Yes.
And, and even on the days that I don't, like, I beat myself up over it going, it's such
Absolutely.
a lazy day. This house is a mess. I could have done something. Why didn't I just do something? So instead of enjoying the fact that I did nothing,
Yeah.
I berate myself at the fact that I did nothing.
Yeah. No,
And I'm
I'm the
like,
same
why?
way.
Why don't? So that is a great point that when I actually take the time off, and you take the time off, just enjoy it. You know what I mean, and not feel guilty about it. That's a good lesson. I'm gonna have to check myself with that, because my husband would tell me, my friends would tell me, that's all right. You don't need to. And then I'm like, yeah, but you know what I mean. I come up with all kinds of reasons why I didn't enjoy that time off, why I felt guilty about it. But you're right, especially now with your list
Yeah.
growing and your business growing, and your demand is a lot higher. That's more important for you to
Right.
schedule those times off, that you know what I mean, to say, okay, I need to fill my well back up. I can't pour out dry well. I can't.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, that's what we find ourselves doing, and then we run ourselves so sick to the ground,
Yes.
because
That's exactly what
what's
happened.
happened is all of a sudden our well has cracks now that we got to take time to repair. We can't add water in because it's not holding anymore. Essentially that's what was happening, right?
Yeah.
So now you just have to take that time and fill it, and keep the water and keep the well full, so that it doesn't dry out and crack off on you. And
Self-preservation for sure.
yes, for sure, for sure. Lay, this has been an awesome interview. I am so glad. I'm honest to God so grateful that you said yes.
Oh, so nerve-wracking.
Oh my God. When I approached her and I was like, hey, we met through Instagram. I've been a fan on her. Her dog somehow popped up on my feed, and I was like, what in the world? Probably because of yarn. Probably, that Instagram magically put you on front of my screen that said, this lady works with yarn. Why don't you check her out? And then I was like, what are these creations? And I'm like, your talent it's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. You guys, if you have any, go check out her page. And I know a lot of yarn lovers. If you guys know any, if you have any inkling in that craft, definitely go check it out, and go learn from the master here. Have you ever considered in your long, because I know you're so new in the making, have you ever foresaw in the future of creating classes and teaching this out and getting help?
You know, yes, in the future, I definitely want to do that.
That's
Yeah, but just as of this moment, it's just busting out those orders. So a lot of my other side projects have gone to the sideline right now.
Thanks a lot, influencer. Thanks a lot for giving me all this business.
Which I'm grateful for.
Well, that is a first world problem right there. First world problem we got going on here.
But yes, definitely down the line for sure. That's what I want to do.
That's amazing. See, you guys should just follow her just for that alone, in case when she opens that up, because you need to snatch that, because there is a high demand for it. Is there a reason why you picked those certain size miniature?
It's because
a certain category.
Yeah, I'm a lover of tiny things, and that's how it started. And packaging, it was all about packaging, size, being able to ship it for a reasonable cost.
Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. That is so good. But my friend and I were just talking about that. A coworker of mine that I was showing her. I was like, wait until you see who I'm interviewing this weekend. And I showed her your Instagram feed and everything, and she's like, oh my God, because she's got 2 dogs that had passed on her that she really wanted to get immortalized. You get a lot of those requests?
I do. I get a lot of memorials, even dogs that I've been following for years and that have sadly passed this year. I've been doing a lot of memorials for them, and that's hard because I've followed them for so long.
Right. So you've been a fan of them yourself. That's probably true. You do. I'll bet you your feed does follow a lot of animals.
Yes.
Those animals are taking over Instagram.
Yes.
Their accounts. There are dog accounts that pop up on my feed randomly once in a while. That have like 10,000, 15,000 followers. Yeah. They generate if you want a blown up, if I wanted a blown up Instagram, I probably could have followed Indy and Liberty and do a life story on their Instagram page. But I don't know if I can manage it. I'm like, you would never see anything on. It's already hard enough for me to post on my stuff, let alone go posting on theirs. They'd blow up the internet, I think. If I showed you their life, how they run their lives. But yeah, no, that's a very good point. So back to my friend, she so she said she wanted, and she's like, so she was looking at bigger ones or something to do, and she found a lot of big ones, and they're like in the hundreds of dollars, and she's like, I can never spend $100. And I was like, well, you need to find her, because it's like, what is your cost for yours?
So they're $35 each, and then $4 shipping.
So you don't even add any timing, any hard difficulty, No. So you are way underpriced there, aren't you?
I do it for the love.
Way underpriced there, but at the same time, it's within your means, and that's the customer that you are trying to serve.
Right. And everybody loves their pets, and I want people that aren't able to afford $100 to be able to afford something.
Right.
Yeah.
And it works out really so much better. So she's like, and the fact, if you get a big size, what are you going to do? Just let the big one just sit around? She's like, but if you have this little one and you just pocket once in a while.
Yeah. I have customers that put it in their pocket.
Yes. Or hit it in a drawer, and then you just open up and it just peeks at you and you just smile and this brings you joy back again. Totally worth.
And people take it to their office and set it on their desk. I also have a lot of customers that have metastatic cancer, and they can't take their pets to chemo, and so they wanted a little mini of their dogs to take with them. So,
oh my God, Lay, your career must be so hard. You know what I mean? It's heart-filling and heart. You know what I mean? Heart-centered. You probably do a lot of crying sessions, don't you? At the stories.
I do, and I have a lot of breakdowns. I get really sad. I've lost a lot of customers that when earlier in my venture, they were there, and a lot of them have passed. So that was hard to deal with.
Yeah, that's, well, your subject, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like immortals next to the subjects that you are choosing to work with, because their lifespans are a lot less than ours. Yeah,
Yes.
I think I've buried one, two, and I didn't start having pets until I met John, but we've already put 3 dogs down
Yeah.
since our, you know what I mean, since our marriage. So it's really crazy. Yeah.
Right.
But you keep having it. We keep having more because they
Oh
just
no,
bring
love.
so much love into our lives. I keep telling John my dream is to have a pet-free home, but that will never happen because I married Dr. Doolittle. So, and I knew that, but I thought I could change him, and I can't. And so, like, my dream of pet-free lifestyle, like, will never happen. But at the same time, they bring so much love. So you're like, how do you? It's why I can never fully fight it for too long. It's funny because we put Speedy down, and then we had Liberty, and Liberty was 6 years, and then Speedy was 11, 12 years, right? So now we have
Mhm.
just Liberty, who's our older German short hair pointer. And I was like, no more. You know what I mean? We're just going to concentrate on, because for a while we had 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So I was like, no more. Just going to have Liberty, and we're just going to give all of our love to Liberty, and then let him go into the night. That was my game plan. Right? And then one day we're on Saturday, off at Home Depot, doing our Saturday Home Depot run, and PetSmart was right next to Home Depot.
Oh no.
And John's like, well, let's just go see. Like, I think, like, not for an animal, not for anything, not for anything living, he swears. Just for a collar, maybe a bone for, Liberty, something. And there was a puppy uh costume day. A puppy costume day at PetSmart.
Stop it.
And there was a puppy golden retriever in a Harvey Davidson metal jacket, and I was done. I was
Over.
done. 6 months of protesting, and I was like, I finally got him, like, resolved at no, only one dog, and just loving on Liberty, that I looked at that golden retriever in that full metal jacket, like, trying to be this tough guy, and I'm like, I looked at John, I go, maybe we're ready for a little brother there. Lay, I swear, I kid you not, that was what, on Saturday. On Monday, there was an appointment. He found a German short hair pointer on the internet, and they're like an hour away from the house. We got to go now. The leader's selling. I'm like, are you out of your On Tuesday, we were picking him up. And
what happened?
I couldn't believe it. I was like, all I did was look at that stupid golden retriever in that metal jacket and said, this might be time. And the next thing I know, on Tuesday, I'm leaving work early to go pick up a puppy an hour away from the house. And I was like, all right.
That's great.
There goes my pet-free lifestyle that I'm never going to achieve in this lifetime. So independence was born. But well, yes, this has been so amazing, so amazing. Thank you so much, you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. Go follow Lay on her. Do you do any other social media, or is it just all Instagram?
Just Instagram and Facebook.
And Facebook. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, go check her out. Do you sell? How do you?
Oh, so I used to sell it on Etsy. I stopped, and now it's just all through Instagram and Facebook, and I just take payment through PayPal.
Wow. So everything is through your DM.
Mm-hmm.
How are you able to even get my post? Did you is it hard to find me when I talk to you?
No.
Those DMs you don't get blown up, like.
I have to find you. I always
Am I buried? I'm gonna have to get your email address if I want your attention now, because I'm like, Lay, I can't get a hold of you. You're ignoring me on Instagram. I wonder why. Now I know why. That is awesome. Awesome. You cut the middleman right out, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, great for you. So definitely go check her out. Go take a look at her feed, and then go place an order because you're gonna want in on this list. Because if you wait any longer, you're probably gonna have to be lucky if you get a Christmas order in, right? At this point, any
Yeah.
she can't guarantee you even Christmas right now. We're in March. That's how ridiculously and awesome for the profit. Learning that about you. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Go follow her. Go check her out, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. God bless.